Hello everyone, my name is Mirna, and on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to see the lectures and interviews organized by Mindalia TV. Today with us, we have the great pleasure of having Carolina Rodriguez. Carolina is a writer, a speaker, and a retreat leader. And we're going to be talking today about how to take care of your own path, how to lead your own path. But before starting with Carolina, we're going to remind you that you can collaborate with Mindalia by liking, subscribing, or sharing this video with someone that you know that can benefit of the content that we're going to be talking here today. Our sole mission is to share information that can help raise the level of consciousness in the planet. You can subscribe not only to this channel but also to our Spanish-speaking channel Mindalia Televisión and our Portuguese channel Mindalia Televisao. We invite you also to visit our social media and different platforms. We share their information as interesting as the one that you already used to see in Mindalia TV. Now, without further delay, I'm going to be introducing you with Carolina. Carolina, welcome to Mindalia. How are you?
Hi, Mirna. I'm very well, thank you. And with deep gratitude for you, for your invitation, and of course for Mindalia and for everything that Mindalia does to raise the consciousness of this planet. Thank you so much.
It is our great pleasure. Carolina also, she has been with us in Spanish, and the information that she has shared has been very welcomed by our Spanish-speaking audience, and we wanted to also share with you some of the wisdom that Carolina has to share with us. So we are talking today, Carolina, about how to lead your own path, how to take care of your own path. And so why is it? What is it that changed in this time that we are kind of ready to take care of our own business, let's say it?
Yeah. Well, the topic of this conversation came to me as I witness, observe in the work that I do with so many people, but of course in my own life, and what is moving right now on the planet, that what we call the new earth or the new paradigm, right? It's time for us to realize that our life is our own path, and that that there is no need anymore to follow gurus or external teachers or disciplines or dogmas. As we rise our consciousness, as we hopefully have done all the healing and transformational work, if that work is done and integrated, it's time for us to find that inner teacher, I would say, that inner guru, right? Because there is the path, doesn't serve is if it is still a practice. It has to have a living, breathing, embodied attitude towards everything that we are and everything that we do in our lives, all relationships, in our work, in our love making, in our cooking, in our, really all in a relationship with nature, animals, and everything. And so taking our own path is taking care of our own path, is that to really look at how we are living and being and feeling in our life instead of consuming more spiritual methods, techniques, books, movies, teachers, retreats, and this might be against me because I'm a retreat leader, right? But I think that's what I'm observing, right? That's so important, that invite people, and hopefully this conversation invites this reflection.
Thank you. I agree with you. The way I see it is that probably before, the years before, the institution, the dogma, let's call it religion if we want to, was needed in a moment in which we were still in need of surveillance, in need of someone telling us, you have to turn here, you have to turn there. I feel grateful for all those years, millennia, a couple of millennia of, someone having to lead the way we were behaving. But as per what I'm understanding that you're saying, so, well, the information has been given. Everything is out there. We are in the era of information. Whomever wants to learn can learn just by clicking. And it's the time of self observation, self knowledge, and then self discipline, right?
Yes, Mirna, I love what you're saying because I think, when we come to planet Earth, we know at a soul level that this is a dual place, to live and to experience ourselves, right? So if we leave the paradigm of religion, as we know it, because religion has a specific meaning, but the institutions, and there is, in the pendulum, in this dual place, if we were here, we needed to come to the New Age movement, yes, that also was telling us what to do, how to live, how to behave, how to meditate, how to heal, how to make love, how to eat, what to eat, so how to make a ritual or whatever. So we come to we went through the New Age movement, and now, as we know, our path is the one in the middle, is the one that feels good, that feels true to us, that feels expanded, that feels real, authentic, and that is organically growing and is evolutionary because it's not a fixed destiny. That's why the path is not like one method, right? It is my own life that is always changing. And on top of that, is always here now, because it's not a destination. We don't know how long we have on this planet, right? Maybe 10 more minutes. We don't know. So the path in the middle, yes. If we went from one institution, we went to other institutions and gurus and people that we follow, and now the big invitation is this: to be in the middle, to be in my own feet, in my own body, to listen, to decide, for myself. And I find that what is awakening now are, if you will, three new archetypes for this, your own path. What we're calling your own path is the alchemist, the inner alchemist, is the archetype that awakens now to show you your own capacity to transform, to alchemize, to heal. As you say, self-observation. When we listen to ourselves, our body heals, our crystallized emotions flow away, and our mind expands, but only when we look inside. And the second archetype that is rising right now is the creator. When the alchemist initiates you, it's because your own path is a path of self-initiation. You validate yourself, you give yourself permission. And so when your inner alchemist healed you, transform you, because you are willing to do so, not because no one tells you to do it, then you become initiated by your own inner creator. And the creator archetype is the one that dreams a new dream. What's the dream you forgot for your life? What is it that you always wanted to be or to do or to experience that you have been postponing until the end? Because the system, both the matrix and the new age, both of them have their own traps, that we are going to speak about them, but claim your creation. Yes, the creator invites you to claim your creation, your dream, and don't postpone it anymore, because here now you are ready. This is your moment. And then the third archetype is the lover. The lover is the one that initiates you in the love that you are. And you become a lover of your own life, your own masterpiece, as I call it. You have to be so in love with yourself so you love others. Because again, the new age is telling us how to make love and how to love. Yeah, but those are recipes and postures and methods. But love is a consciousness. So we are rising our consciousness. Let's realize and let's make love to our own life and all life, hopefully. Right?
As you are speaking, I couldn't agree more with you. And the what is coming to my mind is that we always grew up with this idea of a sphinx, in front of a temple, guarding, like you can only go through if you. So we are in a time in which that sphinx is nothing but ourselves. It's that little you telling you, okay, what do you want to do? How are you going to do it? And the responsibility of choosing your own path. Because there's not one path. That's one of the other, tricky thing is that we are, at this point we have the freedom of choosing what is going to be our path. Before they gave us the food ready, this is what you're going to eat. Now we are not only responsible of choosing if you want to take it, if you don't want to take it, because not taking it is also a way of action, right? You're saying, you know what, no, I'm not going to pursue that. But we are deciding we're going to do it, and then we're in this intersection in which there is so many different things. What do you think about that? Is there like one way for each person? The way I see it is like that. Like there are as many paths as people, as consciousness, as individuals, and they are all taking us to the exact same place sooner or later. What do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, really. It's I always speak about, there are as many planets as people on this planet, right? It's like planet Carolina, planet Mirna, planet, because what, but no, but why? Because we have this body, physical body, that is a vehicle for our soul and the expression of that divine essence that each one of us represents. Yeah, so there is no two me on this planet, and each one of us is unique. Yeah, we have a blueprint, an emotional blueprint that we are born with, and then charge, all the applications downloaded on that emotional blueprint as we go along in our life, right? So this emotional blueprint is completely different from yours and mine and everyone. And then the belief system, yes, it's also another application that we have, or another fragment of ourselves, that it's unique, very, very unique. And then of course our own spiritual understanding, our own communion with the divine, that is so personal and so intimate. The way we read symbols, the way we feel, and we experience our divine. It's very, very intimate. It's very unique. So you are speaking about freedom, and I see this on people who are on the quest or seeking consciousness and healing and transformation. There is we seek freedom, but we need to embrace really the responsibility so we are free. And I come to conclude, actually, observing where we are going and how all this is happening, that we have to have the will, yeah, and the free will that we only have when we look inside of ourselves, because we thought we have free will before, right? This is what they tell you, you come to air, you have free will. Yeah, but the conditioning of the matrix has been so deep and is everywhere. And now the conditioning of the new age. So you might think that you have free will, but if we explore the traps of both, really is. And the more you expand, I see this on myself, the more you expand, the more you know yourself, the more you observe and you question, the conditioning is thinner and thinner and so subtle. And I would say so elegantly placed. It's like, oh my God, like, really nothing is what it seems to be. Really nothing is true here. Yeah. But to surrender to that highest truth and to say, well, yeah, I am love, really. I am none of this that I'm thinking to be.
The free will is not, it's not actually on what we do, but on how we feel, because we can always definitely decide if we feel overwhelmed by the obstacles in the matrix, or if we applaud it and you say, oh matrix, you're doing it so well, like you almost got me on that one. And that is ultimately the only free will we have, not on the doing but on the being, right? On how you feel when you overcome. My particular trick is the capability of learning to laugh at myself. Whenever I'm trapped there, there's a tiny me that is like laughing, giggling, like, oh, it tricked you again. And then you, knowing that you can always go back, knowing that you can restart and reset and restart and reset.
Totally.
When you do your retreats, what are the retreats about? Do you teach people about this knowledge, or is there any particular type of exercise that you implement?
Yeah, I want to add something. The free will is also the way we think, right? It's the way we think, the way we feel, the way we move, the way we act. Yeah, so that's it's fascinating. That's why the only way to illuminate ourselves is going inwards, where we find our freedom, and that's exactly what I do in my retreats. As a soul alchemist, the first thing my retreats normally are 10 days. My favorite time is 10, 11 days of retreat. But sometimes I facilitate cycles, in an alchemical container that lasts 1 month to even 9 months. I have mentorship programs. But the general format is always going inwards first. So I call it the descent. So we go inwards and we go through the 7 gates, as 7 gates to your own temple, to your body. So we enter through the vagina or through the sexual organs, and we find what is in there, and we ask our body permission to inhabit this physical vehicle that we have on consignment for this incarnation. And so the 7 gates show us what we call the shadows, what we call the subconscious, what we call the depth of our being, that the subconscious occupies 95 or 97% of who we are, right? So really, when we say I'm conscious about it, I'm always laughing at myself, because it's true. It's like, yeah, I'm so conscious. Yeah, but I have to remind, consciousness is 5-6%, if it's already expanded. The rest is yeah, it's like, ooh, yeah, I'm so, so awakened now. It's like, yeah, well, yeah, you wish. So the self-inquiry and the reflection, and especially the silence. Yes, I mean, the silence. My retreats are silent, because we need to start communing with ourselves at a deeper level, with the environment, nature, animals, symbols, to start recognizing our own soul language, in the way I perceive things. Because not only, as I said before, your path is very intimate and personal, and it's not me teaching you how you read the messages that nature is sending you, but also because we come to face our belief system, our fears, crystallized emotions like anger and frustration and projections, because we think we are mirrors to each other, but most of the time we are projecting our own things. We are not even able to really see and receive the other person. It's my own projection. So I take you very deep, at least 3 or 4 days. If it is on a retreat, we are doing deep shadow work, because the magic happens when when we have the capacity to go as deep and then up again, fast. Don't. That's one of the traps of the New Age movement. Is like constantly processing the things that right now on the planet. We can look at things, become aware, modify our experience, modify our nervous system in a very quick way, and then construct our new vehicle and our new consciousness and our new reality from a more coherent electromagnetic field. Yeah. So towards the end of the experience with me, you will rise. You descend and then you rise into your own light. Illuminated, like understanding your virtues, understanding your talents, your gifts, and especially your dream and your essence. As an alchemist, and before I claim myself as an alchemist, all my life I had been fascinated by the essence of who we are. Like, why are we here and who are we really? And that's what my work is about. Guiding through this process, with, of course, with practices and techniques and new earth technologies that are very simple and sophisticated at the same time. So you take that home, and then it becomes your own way of living, right? Because I don't want you to depend on me to heal or to decide your things, right? That's old paradigm. We left that already. Yeah. So that's the work I do as an alchemist. I take you home back to yourself, so you remember who you are and why you're here.
Normally, Carolina, what's mostly the type of people that go to you, and what are they looking for? What makes someone say, you know what, I need a change, I need something different? Where is that niche? Why are we feeling that need of including that other depth in our life?
Well, because the people that come to me have been seekers. So they have very brilliant minds, methods, knowledge, and it's like, I haven't changed. I can still, I'm still stuck in my job or in my career, or I still have this thing with money, or these my relationships are not changing. It's like, what's the missing piece? And the missing piece is that connection to who you really are. Yeah. Other people who are not seekers whatsoever, but they feel the need of a more embodied path. Something that is simple, something that is honest, fast, that is joyful, yeah, pleasurable as well, like really something embodied. Yeah. Not I don't teach with PowerPoints and books and stuff. It's more experiential. And so those people who resonate with, it's my life, it's me, I don't need you, Carolina, to tell me how to live, right? Those comes to me. What do you mean exactly? I don't. Mm, mm, mm. Well, that's question. Yes. For sure. What happened is, I call it the new earth. And well, I'm not I'm not expert on explaining this, but in a very simple way, and how I am experiencing myself and how I see it happening in my work. And that's why I'm saying, the transformation and the healing is happening like so much faster in my sessions and in people's lives. And that's why I'm saying it's a self-initiation, because as the earth enter the new era, or the start of the new era in 2012, we left the paradigm where the pillars were politics, economics, religion, and science. We are the daughters of Descartes era, right? So everything was about knowledge, and we have entered into the place. We are moving towards the Aquarius age, where it's the time of wisdom, it's the time of the Christ consciousness. Yes, the coding of our DNA is being awakened by itself, because we are here as the nervous system of Gaia, of the earth. So as she moves, as she makes her evolutionary journey throughout our universe, so we do it. And that's why we have chosen this lifetime to come here in service to her, and for us to have the amazing opportunity for this party of consciousness, of really recognizing ourselves that we are the ones. What does it mean, when the new age says, like, we are the ones that we were waiting for? Yeah, but what does it mean for you? It means that you are the creator. We are creation experiencing itself as feminine and masculine in one body, right? Throughout all this new energy, and much more subtle energy, as you well said. But in order to tune in, or to feel that subtle energy, we need to cleanse and clean our vessel, which is the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual body, right? So that was our passage. Now that hopefully we have done the work of cleaning this, we can receive that prana, we can receive that Shakti, we can receive that energy that Gaia is giving us, so we can create. Not to save her, because believe me, she doesn't need to be saved by us. Yeah, that's the spiritual ego tricking us. Yes, that's why we need to, as you well said, laugh about ourselves. It's because, if you really think you need to save Gaia, it's like the one thing we need to save Gaia from is from our ignorance, and from our shadow, and from our, greed. We are light. The truth is that we are light. Yeah. And so she's light and we are light. But if we don't do the work, and that we don't have the humility to look at ourselves, and how the elements on the planet, fire, water, wind, earth, are showing us where we are at as a collective. She's not doing this for us to save her. It's for us to really look at ourselves and say, like, gosh, man, look at the state of the water. I need to clean my emotional body first before saving anyone, right? Because it doesn't serve that you go and clean the ocean and then you are a disaster in your emotions and in your relationships. Yeah?
I understand, and the way I feel is that definitely whatever we're seeing outside is a reflection of our own internal pollution. It's pollution from here to here. I wanted to ask you something, and we're not going to talk about truth, because we know that there are as many truths as individuals, and as many planets as people in the planet. So in Carolina's planet, what do you think about the type of diet that, because I have my firm beliefs, but I respect everybody else's beliefs. But is it easier to transition into healing, into what we want, from your point of view and your retreats and your professional life, if we have a kinder diet, kinder towards our body and, of course, the environment?
Yes. Let's see. This is one of my favorite topics. because I've been anorexic when I was a teenager. So I've really learned the power of, the connection of our mind and our body and our image and, of course, our emotions. It's so interesting. The initiation of anorexia for me, my planet, the initiation that anorexia gave me, I mean, really the gift that I learned is to listen to my body and to respect my body. But it took me years, okay? So I was anorexic when I was 19. I was anorexic for 2 years and a half. And then thanks to a nutritionist, I'm going to be short, but I think this is a very important thing that I want to share. When I decided to heal anorexia, because my parents took me to all therapists and psychotherapists that you can imagine, like dragging me. But when I decided to heal, I have chosen the nutritionist that I wanted to work with, and I call her. And this is what happens on our path when we are willing to transform or to heal, and we take actions. Then we heal. Right now, no one can heal us, right? But only our own willingness to transform ourselves. I went to this nutritionist, and the first thing that she told me, this was 22 years ago, 23 years ago, I lost the count. She says, you're not going to have to do any diet. And for the rest of your life, you're not going to eat anything light. Back then in Argentina, it was something like with no calories, no sugar, etc. So the light products. And so anorexia really initiated me in understanding pleasure. See, I just said in my retreats, we dedicate ourselves to pleasure. Your own path, it has to be pleasurable. Dogma, discipline that is imposed from outside, it's not that. We have the responsibility to look for pleasure, right? Because this brings us to a place of self-love and therefore peace. And the peace that we want to see in the planet starts with us. There is no outside. There is no outside. Quantum physics teaches this, right? So let's look at ourselves. This woman really set me free and then gave me the responsibility to constantly be tuning in with my body to see, what do I want to eat? Is this feeling good to me? Why am I eating this? Is because, my social group is telling me, or, the trend, the diet, and I never in my entire life did a diet. And I never went back to anorexia or even gain weight. I mean, I think I'm 60, 61, 62 since I am 22 and I'm 44, right? So I did that experiment. It means like, okay, if I set myself free from this conditioning, yes, it really works. If we tune in with ourselves, then we can tune in with the planet, with animals, with plants, yes. But unless we dare to feel ourselves, dare to feel good and dare to feel bad, yeah. If we come to nutrition from a place of self-punishment or from a place of willing to look in a certain way from someone else, yeah, it doesn't work. If we impose ourselves to be vegan or vegetarian or I don't know, whatever other diets are out there in fashion, but why are you doing this? Why? Does it feel good? Does it set you free? Does it give you pleasure? Does it give you the freedom to travel to Asia or to another country and be free to choose whatever you want to eat? Or are you going to be locked into a new dogma and a new paradigm that is constraining? Yeah. And I also find that the more we cleanse this vessel, the more we do the work on emotional healing and release and clear mind and kinder thoughts and we will naturally be attracted by food that contains, the vibration that our body needs. There is no need to do anything, just to be listening and practicing and present. That's what I find. Um, in my retreats, I give people, the opportunity to try vegetarian, vegan, raw, um, big portions, small portions. It's really depends on the work that we are doing and what supports most where we want to go. But we need to know why we are doing what we are doing and where we want to go. Otherwise, it doesn't serve. If I tell you, yeah, no, we need to be vegetarian, so we get like, blah, see, okay. Of course, my own initiation into vegetarianism was in 2009, when I almost throw up in the supermarket, like trying to buy chicken. And that's my story. It's like I'm tuning in with my body. If my body says no, I don't eat. I don't question what my body is asking. Yeah.
I couldn't love your answer more. I really like it. I like the fact that you're telling, the more you know your body, the more you are aware of who you are and the parts that, comprehend the whole being that you are. Naturally, you're going to be inclined towards higher vibration diet. It just happens. I heard recently someone saying that, of course, you don't need to be a vegetarian or kosher in order to be spiritual, but naturally your self-evolution, the way you grow spiritually, you're going to end up being respectful towards other beings. That doesn't mean that you're not going to eat animals, but it means that if you eat them, you're going to do it responsibly and harmoniously with the circle of life, with the planet, with, being part of this wheel. I love it. I definitely love the answer. So nowadays, your diet comprehends different type of foods. You're not a vegetarian, you're not a vegan. You allow your body to choose what you're going to be eating, right?
So I am vegetarian for many years, since 2009, since I almost vomit in the supermarket. But because my body doesn't ask me anything, really. It doesn't feel good to me. But if I'm traveling and there is nothing to eat, okay, like a salad with tuna, okay, whatever. But no, I'm vegetarian. Yes.
That's good. The way I see it is that I take it one day at a time. We have had here a great nutritionist. Her name is Danielle Arsenault from Canada. And what she recommends is like, you know what? Don't focus on tomorrow. Don't focus on all the things that you're not going to be eating today. Focus on percentage and trying that your diet, if you feel like you want to, try this lifestyle, percentage. You say, you know what? X percentage of my diet is grains or vegetables, and this percentage is meats, and you start switching from one percentage to the other until you accomplish, to be where you want to be, regardless of how it is.
Exactly. That's the question. It's like if how to take care of your path. It's like, why are you doing what you're doing? How do you feel doing it or being it? How do you feel knowing that you are respecting all these baby sheep, and baby cows? Like, how does it feel? For me, it feels amazing. It's like I couldn't love animals anymore. So I know why am I doing it, but no one tells me what to do or how to do it, right? Of course, then there are medical conditions, and then there is a massive healing process or transformation that you want to support with nutrition. Because the truth is, like, if we are information, we are metaphysical beings. So we are information. We are breathing information, thinking information, eating information from the food. So why do you want to pollute your body anyway? Eating whatever, if you already know, if you have the information. We are saying that we exit the time of information. So what do you do and who you become, with that information? That's how you take care of your path, being like sovereign what you are choosing.
and the great responsibility of taking care of your path. That's what nobody wants. I really liked this girl we were with a couple weeks ago. I asked her the question that I always like to ask, like, why are we so disconnected? Why are we so reluctant to healing, to taking care of our traumas and whatever? She gave me a great answer. She said, because it gets messy. Because your makeup is gonna like you're not gonna be looking nice. Healing is not a path of enlightenment and you're flowing in the air. No, it's the horrible things are gonna happen through that path, and nobody wants to take responsibility of saying, you know what, no, it's not my neighbor that is a bad person. It's actually both of us that we are making mistakes. So are you seeing in the people that goes to your retreat that willingness to take care of what they're doing, or how do they live? Do they assimilate the idea a little bit?
Yes, because when I welcome people, I always tell them, in the application form, it's like, I'm not your guru. Do you agree with you not having a guru, when you work with me? I'm a great mirror and a great guide and a teacher and like incredibly, like blah, blah, whatever people says about me. But I'm not, so they know this from the beginning. And what I really, really love the most is the love that is found when we do the real work, the freedom, the love, the incredibly capacity to create, to dream again, to feel. The thing is, we don't heal not to feel so bad. We heal to feel all the love that we are, which is amazing. And I hear from people the most crazy stories. When I do the lineage healing, we come from so much pain, really, thousands of years, generations of trauma. And when all that is released, and of course it gets very messy, but is the messiness of of your own path, is the messiness of a child playing with paint, right? It's just so beautiful and so liberating. Yeah, when we come to that inner child, your own inner child that has the permission of your own inner mother and your own inner father, that inner trinity that is a new constellation. You don't need the constellations around you. You are constellated within yourself. It's just, it's the freedom. I think when we truly seek that freedom and that communion with the divine. Actually, the card that came for this conversation is divine. I don't know if you can see it, but when we seek this path, it's just going inwards, and it's just so beautiful. And it's amazing. It's amazing, really, what happens. We come to understand that whatever the new age, promised to us, more dogmas, more techniques, more how to do it and when to do it and how many times a week to do it. No, we are even free from that, right?
The student surpassed the master, right? What do you think about many people? We are in this world. We are learning new things, holistic, spiritual, and whatnot. But the reality is that people seek for spirituality because we fear fear. We fear pain. And probably initially we're not looking to heal or to feel the darkness, but we're looking not to feel it. We want to find a way to keep it down. We want to find a way for it not to be, sounding out loud in our heads. But what I have come to understand is that you are not going there because you want to bring light to the darkness. You want to learn how to love the darkness. You want to learn how to say, "Hey, darkness, nice to meet you. I'm not going to deny any longer that you're here." So, what do you think about that? Should we repress and sparkle and joy and dance all the time, or is there a space in our lives that we should consecrate to those days that are not as good as others?
For sure. I love your question because let's see. We want to heal, and we seek, yeah, the seekers. We seek the divine, and we seek the spiritual practice in order not to be so blah blah, or to feel in a certain way, fear, shame, guilt, main ones. But the quickest way to stop feeling that way is going directly through the experience that in the first place make you feel that way. The love that is on the other side of that experience is ecstatic. It really is. I promise you. Right? So that's the biggest new age escapism. Yes, it's like, yes, unicorns and rainbows and light. Yeah, but what do we do with this? Then the real awakening is to bring the light, not the unicorns to the darkness, but to just go into that experience and find the love that you already are. That experience was created by love, for love, and is locked in there. We are walking around with the keys to our own love in our pockets, in our DNA coding. See? And as I said, as the vibration of our planet and the energy of our planet has changed so much, I think these memories are being released at such a fast speed. Many people are coming to me, and we can see, and probably the audience can relate to this, new pains, new fears, new phobia, new allergies, new things popping up, but not because we are collapsing, but because we are awakening to the love that we are. And so our vessel, from the alchemical point of view, our vessel needs to be clean, right? The truth is that if we escape to feel the pain, and if we numb ourselves with pills for not feeling our menstrual cramps, yeah, it's talking about women, we are also numbing our love and our capacity to love and our capacity to manifest our dreams, our desires, and to connect with them in the first place. When we deny our own darkness, yes, and our own pain and our own fears, we deny, of course, the matrix and the conditioning. So there is no awakening unless we do the inner work for our darkness, so we can see the darkness outside. Because if we deny our own darkness, it's very comfortable to sit here and to look for who's guilty for what's happening on the planet. But if I'm the creator, if I look into my own conditioning, it's like, holy moly, look at this conditioning. It comes from this. So now I can see it, so I can remove myself from that matrix. It's like really unplugging the light from the matrix. But that's only possible if it's like, in my practice, yes, if I consecrate a day or two, well, as a woman, when I have my premenstrual time, of course I consecrate to like inwards. I know where am I at with my process, so I give myself time, and I spend a lot of time in silence, I live alone, so like self-reflection for me is a big part of my own personal practice, because it's the only way to come to that middle place of peace, right? So yes, I think the spiritual practice is joyful, is community, is sharing, is celebrating, but part of the celebration is dismantling my own conditioning, my own matrix inside. It's part of the celebration. It's not separated from the celebration, right? So yeah, so let's not push pain away or sorrow away or grief away, because the more we push it, the more it comes to us. And so the more we are still plugged in the electromagnetic field of the matrix that that is being fed by our grief, unresolved things.
Thank you. Carolina, we are ready to wrap up. We've been talking for almost an hour, and we want to thank you greatly for dedicating this time to the Mindalia TV audience. But before we leave, two things. The first one is, where can our audience find you? If you have social media or anything that they can use to find you and the way you work. And of course, a couple of words that you want to leave them with.
So my contacts are on Instagram. I'm Samiel Carolina. On Facebook, I am Samiel Carolina, but also Shakti Medicine is my Facebook page where I share in Spanish and sometimes in English things. And my website is under construction, but it's samielcarolina.com. So I'm very happy to connect with all of you. And of course, I have also a YouTube channel that is Samiel Carolina. And you can also find me there. I'm really, really happy to connect with you guys. And what was the question? Something that I want you to know to really leave this conversation. You are the purpose. You are the purpose. And you will know that you are taking care of your path when you stop seeking and start finding the universe inside of you. It's right there, right here.
Thank you so much. And to our audience, of course, thank you for being with us. This wouldn't be possible without you. Remember, liking, subscribing, not only this channel, but our Spanish channel, Mindalia Televisión, and our Portuguese channel, Mindalia Televisão. We are sharing their information on a daily basis, as interesting as the one that you are already used to see in Mindalia TV. We're sending you a very big hug, and until next time. Bye-bye.